Hello, this is Jan from MES, and we've just released our latest tool releases for summer 2021. And today I'm going to show you some feature highlights. We will be looking into the MES Quality Commander, MQC, and I'm happy to have Björn here with me from the MQC team to show us a little bit more. Hello, Björn.
Hello, Jan.
So the latest version of the MES Quality Commander is version 5.1. And the exciting new feature that we are going to look into today are annotations for quality properties. Björn, can you please show us what are annotations and how can we use them?
So yes, what you can see here is the new version 5.1 of the MES Quality Commander. Maybe just as a short introduction, it's again our showcase that you can see here. The one or the other may already have seen in a previous webinar or in one of the previous release highlight sessions. So here on the left-hand side, we have our four models. We call it artifacts. And we have data imported from two tools, namely from MTest and from MXM, as it is to be seen here on the right-hand side in the filter panel. And there are a lot of quality properties showing quality calculated out of this data. And as Jan already said, the version 5.1 now comes with the possibility to add annotations to quality. But what does it mean? Yeah, we all know that the big advantage of MQC is that MQC does a quality assessment which is automatically and especially which is objective. So for calculating quality out of data, MQC uses quality model according to ISO 25010. And indeed, this means that it is objective because the quality calculation is done just based on the data and on what is configured in the quality model. Nevertheless, in reality, in your real project, there may be situations where you have, for instance, such a red tile as we have it here in the main matrix, where we have a red tile with 0% quality, where you know that the underlying quality is better, or the data that is underlying the quality is better, and you would like to do a justification for that part in your project. And to do that, you could simply use the annotations dialog, the annotations option here in the left-hand side panel. And if we click on that, as you can see, the artifact and the quality property we have marked in the main visualization has already been pre-selected. And here we could add such an annotation. We can add a new, a short description for this new annotation. And very important, the long description really should contain the reason why you are doing this justification. And indeed, it's also very important that you define a time frame where this justification should be applied to your calculated quality. So in our case, I would say it is just valid for a particular day, namely for the 18th of June, and that you can configure in this dialog.
But what when I'm also not really agreeing with the actual value that is calculated by MQC, the 0% in this case here?
Okay, beside adding a justification means commenting why this quality is not that good or why this quality is better than calculated by MQC. You could also say, okay, if it is really the case and I have to adapt this red color, for instance, and say it's not red, it's rather yellow, means the quality indeed is acceptable, then you can also do this for this annotation. So you could not just add a comment, but also change the quality bin, and not just the bin as we will do it right now, but also the underlying quality value can be changed by that. So you can say instead of 0%, it's just, or it's already 25%. So the quality value can also be adapted. Okay, if we now add this annotation and save it, then MQC checks if there are some rows inside the internal data management where this annotation applies to the stored data, and it just applies then the annotation to the quality. So in a moment, we should just see that we have here, instead of a red quality, we have a yellow quality. And in all the KPIs, you can see that you see the new quality value of 87% for this artifact EV free control main, and you see also the original, the non-annotated quality, so that it's quite transparent for you that there is something set manually by the user of this project. Also here in the KPI for the quality properties, you see two values, namely the now annotated quality and the non-annotated quality.
So how long is this annotation valid? You added a date, I saw, but what happens if there actually now is data that you are happy with, let's say, or that would actually calculate a different quality as compared to the example that you showed here?
You're right. I just added it for this last day of the project that's currently here, so for the 18th of June. But nevertheless, I also said during this transformation process that MQC checks if it has to be applied to some quality properties. So if we know the report, for instance, that contains better data, which would lead to better quality, is now available for MQC, and if we refresh the underlying data inside MQC, then this newly imported data and the newly calculated quality would lead to the fact that the annotation would no longer be applied. Because as you have seen before, we have just added the annotation or an appliance rule for this annotation that said, okay, if the quality is bad, then make it acceptable. So if this no longer applies this rule, then the original data, the original calculated quality is to be seen here inside MQC.
Mm-hmm. So the annotation by itself makes a very precise and defined impact on a very defined portion in your project quality. So you actually put it into a time frame for a specific date and for a specific value range. And if any of these conditions do not apply, the annotation also won't be applied anymore.
Exactly. And this is indeed very important, yeah. That we don't change something without having a really, really good reason for that.
So now the quality has changed to green.
Now the quality has changed to green here in this tile, because the data maybe was just missing that was used to calculate a better quality. And also in the KPI chart, you can see here that this 90% is now the calculated quality, and that there is an annotation in the background is no longer applicable. So it has the comparative value shown in the KPIs is no longer to be seen here. Yeah, that's it.
Great. Well, thank you for showing us this very interesting, exciting feature that can be used very nicely in projects that are more like reality than as compared you think of them they would be in theory. So I think it could be very helpful for users who have to face these kind of issues to try to deal with this.
Exactly, yeah.
So the MES Quality Commander 5.1 is available for download via the Contact in the Tool Update newsletter, of course, or through the contacts on our website. I would like to thank you, Björn, a lot for showing us the feature today, and I hope to see you soon for the next release with more exciting new features for MQC.
Thank you very much, Jan, and bye.
Bye-bye.